Hello and welcome to episode 49 of the Real World Draft Series here on the channel using TEW 2020. We're at we only got like a month left of this thing, as I just can't believe it. It's been almost a year. It'll be a year in May. If I don't think we're going to make it that far. I don't think we'll make it into May. But my God, it's been a long ride. As for this go home show for the Stuart Memorial Cup Classic event, as for this go home show, we're going to see all 16 performers, all 16 people that are going to be in that Stuart Memorial Cup Classic will be competing tonight on this card. That's just a nice little fun way to have a go home show, I think. Just having all 16 people battling out throughout the night. Some against each other, some, with the people outside the tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun just kind of changing up things and just trying to give it a little bit more. There's a lot of fresh matchups on this card, which I think that's always fun to do, especially a year into a save. Yeah, to start getting a little, maybe I wouldn't say redundant, but it gets a little difficult to have some non-repeating matches. But it's nice to see that, because we've gained a couple of people along the way, we're able to have some fresh matchups still. So that's a lot of fun. I think that's been a big reason why this series has kept on going for so long, as it's been pretty fun to book. We have a lot of. If it wasn't for really, I wouldn't say that the ratings have been bad. They've been okay. It would be nice if we were in the 70s or even the 80s, obviously. But it's been a journey. We start off very poor. I just think it was the combination of being in Canada and this mod not really being a TW 2020 mod. So it's just kind of a combination of that. But we got it together now. We definitely are much better the back half than the front half. That's usually for every TW save, though. You get used to your roster and whatnot. As let's run the show. Let's just waste no time. Let's get right into it, as now everyone saw the card. Pre-show match. It pained me to do this, but I figured they would actually get outperformed, but they didn't. Actually, the Violence Giants did their part, as the Dark Order beating Violence Giants in 10-15 as Stu Grayson pinned the Ultra Fan Triple Crown champion, CWA, with a Snapmare driver. Pain me to do it, but they outperformed everyone, so at least Stu gets the win there. Evil Uno 36-40s for the Violence Giants. That's just tough. Fucking tough. As the next pre-show matchup, Kylie Ray taking the fall to Tony Storm with the 0-1 and 9:47. At least Paige is still doing well for Tony. I think that's really great for her, but I don't think it's going to be enough as far as this back half, this final month of the save. Maybe she'll be the one, maybe a rematch against Sasha, maybe with Paige's help she'll beat her, but it's not looking good, though. It's not looking good for Tony Storm as far as what's going to come of her in the remaining month of the CWA. This is our Stampede TV intro, as always. As we're actually opening up the show with Bret Hart. I feel like that's a lot of the intros, but he's the GM. I feel like you kind of have to have him make these announcements, as he's announcing that everyone, all 16 of the performers that are going to be in the Stuart Memorial Cup Classic, will be competing tonight for this go-home show before we get to the Stuart Cup Classic, as we're going to be seeing Ray Phoenix and Sasha Banks teaming up for a first-time tandem, taking on Heroes Made of Stone, Chris Hero, Martin Stone. You're going to see the Young Bucks. Only one Buck, though. Only Nick Jackson, rather. Only Nick Jackson and the Golden Lovers taking on the Dark Order of Brock Lesnar, Tommy End, and Brody King. As we'll also be seeing in the main event, Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn, Brody Lee, and Bryan Danielson teaming up to take on Blood Generation. Which, that's huge-ass matches there. That's a big-time main event. That main event should do really well, if not for Naruki Doi. Shima does okay, but I feel like Naruki Doi is kind of low 50s. But we'll see, though. Should be a pretty good main and co-main, though, with the everybody involved there. Obviously, Brody's probably going to do, like, high 40s. Tommy Ian's probably going to do 35, 40. It's nuts. But at least that promo got a 60, though, so at least we got that going for us. The show's starting off pretty well. As the match, I was a little nervous with Martin Stone in there, but Sasha and Ray Phoenix, what a fucking team. So they got a 72 for Sasha, 75 for Phoenix. That's Phoenix pinning Martin Stone with a Meteora, 944. That's a hell of a team. That's fucking tag champs right there, Ray Phoenix and Sasha. As, Martin Stone, they really didn't have a chance. Chris Hero, that was part of the Stuart Memorial Cup Classic. That's why that match happened. As for the Dark Order team, getting the win over Nick Jackson, the Golden Lover. So, Matt Jackson actually is not with the company right now. We have to get him from a talent trade. So I just kind of forgot to do that before this episode. So that's why we're just making a 6-man, which I don't mind, though. I really like the 6-man on paper. I think it's a lot of fun. As Tommy Inn beating Nick Jackson with a black mass. As, yeah, I mean, that's Tommy Inn with a 47. Just a little low-blowed Tommy Inn there. But Birdie King with a 42-61 for Brock, which Brock had outperformed by Kenny Omega and Nick fucking Jackson. I figured the Dark Order could use a win going into this. As in afterwards, you have Kenny Omega and Nick Jackson. They get into a bit of a shoving match there. Getting into it. Looks like a little young buck. You know, obviously a little tempers flaring thanks to the loss. That usually happens, though. You know, you competitive people. Sometimes that gets going there with a shoving match between Nick Jackson and Kenny Omega. As then we come back with the main event here. As it is the 8-man tag. It's the Babyface team of Bryan Danielson, Brody Lee, and Sami Zayn and Kevin Steen beating Blood Generation in 17 minutes as Kevin Steen tapped out Naruki Doi. As you see there, Pac with a 74 outperformed everybody. 70 for Bryan, 68 for Brody Lee and Kevin Steen, 66 for Roddy, 57 for Sami Zayn, 53 for Shima, and then 50 for Naruki Doi. I mean, what a solid little show. I mean, there wasn't a bad rating this whole time. We just, was using a lot of our bigger names. Obviously, again, using the talented people to our advantage. We've had, I mean, that's probably one of our better TVs we've had. There was not, the worst thing was a 58. You can't say that about a lot of our TVs. There's a lot of angles that don't do well for us. But, I mean, increased our pop in 15 regions. Dude, that's a TV we desperately need. That's a hell of a go-home. As a lot of things happening, just to remind everyone what the bracket's going to look like going into the Stewart Cup Classic. We got Pac on a bye, and then Ray Phoenix and Brock Lesnar. So whoever wins between Ray and Phoenix and Brock Lesnar is going to take on Pac in the second round. Kevin Steen and Brody Lee are the next matchup. They both have byes, so they'll be going in the second round. As then Roger Strong, he has a bye, going to be taking on the winner of Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. Hell of a first round matchup. Sasha Banks, obviously being a champion, is getting the bye, the last bye of the first round. That's going to be Chris Hero taking on Sami Zayn, which that should be a hell of a matchup there. As should be a hell of a turn, a hell of a night. I think this is going to do a lot better than what. I just kind of want to see top matches there. I want to say it's going to do a lot better than the Dungeon Wars show, because the Dungeon Wars, you could kind of see it there. It didn't have a great... Actually, there's a one in September that got a 69. So, yeah, we had a one in April that was a 68. So, maybe not. I thought that was a lot better than what we usually do. I mean, still a top show. I'm assuming this one here at the 67. So, I want to say that's what it was. Yeah, that was... Wow, I mean, it's still a top 10 show. But it's not how well as I thought it would be. As I just kind of look at the top matches there. We haven't really looked at this page in the hot minutes. Just kind of want to go through everything. Just kind of interesting. See, I mean, I'm very happy. This is kind of what I wanted the CWA to be. Really focused on the events, less on the TVs. I don't want to be very TV-driven. So you can kind of see with my booking, too. They're having a lot of big-time events. I feel like that's what should it be, all about. More on the events. Especially for this, the way this promotion is. Which focus on wrestling and whatnot. I feel like it would do really well. The events would, not less the TVs, because, we're hyping up events and whatnot. Man, 48 shows. Yeah, we had a 38 before. Yeah, that's just, we had a tough start. Just last month, though, we had a 56, though. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, that's the CWA for us. So, yeah, let's, talent trade for Matt Jackson, make sure, just in case I want to use them. I think we're just going to keep it to the tournament, though. I don't think we're going to have any other outside matches. Maybe we will, though. Not exactly sure on how I want to have the rest of the card, just because there might be some room for time. There might not be some room for time, so I just want to make sure I have everything. As we will catch you guys next time for the Stu War Memorial Cup Classic. Take care, everyone.